and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Try to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 82 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now, looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taken in at the 11. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now the Bengals get ready for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
A big run there by Jones. And even 50 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson, and that's complete to Adams. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete. Marr able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy, but let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
90, Wolf. Heavy on the edges. Get it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
He's checking. Crash. Check. General West.
Back to throw. Hamilton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's throw at about the 5. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Team Gator. Two draw quarters. Check. Lucky.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Oh, yeah!
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
You're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
He's got his man, Boyd. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
50, plant. Mike is 59, Mike is 59. Watch the run, watch the run. Be careful.
Off the bootleg. Hamilton. This one hauled in by Sample. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
The oar. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Get it.
Looking to throw. Hamilton. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Boyd. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's 21-3. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now a handoff looking right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. It's taken to the 26.
We got this.
Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. 59. Cut.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. From the 35 on 2nd down. Jackson, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Hamilton. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Ready? From the gun, Hamilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, and then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He completes it to Boyd. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
You don't know no better.
To throw again, Hamilton. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4.
Let's go, buddy.
So we've come to halftime after a very... Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Let's go. 10 logo. Oh, you got deep? Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. 6-6, pull it high. Watch 38. Hey.
Looking to throw on second down. Hamilton, wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. Past the 20. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They're quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3.
53, Mike.
They'll run with Penny. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Let's go, baby. 3-6 all day. Don't throw that side.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are, so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now the Packers get set to go. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Jackson throwing middle. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now
basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget.
Jackson. He may try and run for this. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this state. Escaping, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Now he'll pull it down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on 2nd down, Hamilton. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Operating from the gun, Hamilton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The throw right sideline here is complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, fighting off the defender. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Gold stars all the way around for that defensive front. Anytime an offense wants to run a draw, they're really trying to hit you in the center part of the field. Anytime you can clog that up and force it to bounce outside, it's a huge win for the defense.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Greystone, travel. They go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hamilton. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Airing one out for Boyd. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten.
Jackson on 1st down.
And he's going to keep it here. He's got the first down here inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He'll buy some time right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now it's Jackson. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jay Sternberger, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be caught. That's good for 28 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
There we go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.